Right now we have ICE and an enforcement that is using inhumane tactics of lying to people, misrepresenting themselves, and targeting anyone that looks like me, someone that looks like Mexican American, positioning themselves all over our communities. And I'm very frightened of what it's going to look like next year when ICE's budget is not double, but 20 times what it is right now. Immigrants generate $71 billion in annual economic output. Into Arizona alone, it's $704 million each year in state and local taxes in Arizona. The militarization of our communities is something that we have to fight against. And what I will fight for is comprehensive, humane immigration reform with pathways to citizenship. We have people in our communities that have lived here for over 2 decades and still do not have a pathway to citizenship. We have DACA recipients that do not have a pathway to citizenship. And with this administration, the rules keep changing. And when you are systematically intervening in due process, people that are going to our courthouses right now for their appointed time, their case is dismissed, they leave, and they're detained by ICE. This is costing us $245 per bed per day. From this administration that says they want to keep the federal government out of our everyday, this is an incredible draw of resources. It is inhumane, and it should be intolerable for any of us to see what is happening to our immigrant communities. They are deporting veterans. They are deporting citizens. We should all be very afraid.
Mr. Butierez, same topic. Do you think that the ICE tactics, immigration enforcement, need reform? And if not, to those who say that the tactics undermine trust from the immigrant community that is here legally, how do you reconcile that with them? 2 minutes.
Well, first off, the rules aren't changing. The laws are being enforced. Okay? The ICE agents are doing what the law requires them to do, not what the administration's requiring them to do. The only thing the administration's requiring them to do is enforce the laws that are already on the book. Now, we're asking for jobs and positions to be makers of the law, not breakers of the law. And what many on the left are wanting, and even some Republicans, there are some, are wanting is people to ignore the law and continue on what they're doing. I believe we need to have immigration reform. We absolutely need to do that. And the gentleman that was in this seat prior to us has spent the last 2 decades trying to do that. It didn't work. So I believe it's time for different leadership, a different direction, someone who has built things, accomplished great things, to go in there and change that. That someone's me. I've seen tremendous migration coming across our border. My opponent may be right, she may be wrong, but it's also costing us trillions of dollars. And it cost us, I know Pima County spent approximately $50 to $60 million on it right here in Pima County. And now they're in a spot where they don't have any money to run our city. The buses are all paid for, and they want to increase our taxes. They went with 414, and the whole community came together, Democrats and Republicans, and voted that down. And I'm hoping we come together here and do a change in Arizona.
I absolutely do not support vouchers. I don't support the system in general. I think is it a systematic attack on public education. And when you look at the accountability, there isn't any. There isn't any. You can buy $2,000 worth of Legos, and our Arizona school superintendent is allowing those purchases to go through. People are going on vacation, going to Disneyland. These are funds that are helping to support all of our children in Arizona. And I believe that parents should have the option to choose whatever education system they want for their own child. But when you are over 90% of the children in CD7 attend our public schools, it is a fraction, and it is a fraction of what is needed for a private education. So these families have historically not had their children attend public schools. And now what they're doing is taking public dollars to to fund private education.
Mr. Butierez, 1 minute. Do you believe the vouchers are working? Do they need more refinement?
I would expand the voucher program. I would suggest that the state look at other alternatives to fix things like such. There's thousands of kids coming across the border every year. Who's paying for their education? They have addresses here, but they don't live here. They should be paying a tuition. There's programs in the schools that need to be removed, you know, and that, which is the reason that parents are pulling their kids out of the public schools. The public schools are indoctrinating their children. They don't want their children in those schools. Mrs. Grijalva has been in there for 20 years and done a lot of things in the school that has led to parents wanting to pull their kids out, such as indoctrination.
30 seconds to respond, Ms. Grijalva.
Fighting for bilingual education, fighting for culturally relevant curriculum, fighting for access for every child, accepting every child that walks into the door, that is public education. And when you look at, we spend in Arizona $20,000 more per inmate per year than we do to fund our K-12 system. If we want safer communities, if we want smarter investment, it should be in schools, not in prisons.